Today I fucked up by realizing the older woman I've been sleeping with for months is my coworker's mom. Updates below. Throwaway account. This literally happened like an hour ago. So I, male, 25, have been involved with an older woman, female, 44, lately. It started a few months ago with the onset of coronavirus. I was on Tinder trying to find someone to hook up with during quarantine so as to stay safe and also kill some time. I saw this very attractive older woman and decided to swipe right because it's every 20-something-year-old's dream to hook up with a MILF. A few days go by and I get a notification that I have a new match. Woohoo. I open up the app and lo and behold, it's the fine ass cougar I was hoping for. We start chatting and flirting. It's going really well. Out of nowhere she messages me and says, I'm not sure how this app works. Do we just meet to have sex or do we go on a date first? I was drinking coffee at the time and promptly shot it out both nostrils. My chance had come. I replied back that people generally just meet up to go to the bone zone together, but I'm easy either way. She replies, well good, because I hate formalities. I nearly shit my pants in excitement. She sends me her address and tells me she's free on Friday and to bring wine. The rest of that whole week was a complete blur of anxiety. I could not fuck this up. So Friday comes, I show up with wine. She looks ducking smoking hot. Better in person. We talk about music and traveling and all that. Not many personal details, which would come back to haunt me. Just sort of arts and culture talk. A few glasses of wine later, and we're full blown going at it like rabbits on the middle of her living room floor. I left a little, while later feeling like I'm the king of the entire universe, and go to sleep. The next day she texts me saying how she had a great time, and it made her feel young again, and blah blah blah. She says she's off every Friday and Saturday and that next week we should do the same. This has been going on for roughly 3 months. We meet up once or twice a week, fuck like animals, and then go on our merry way until one of us gets horny again. Sweet deal, right? Wrong. I messaged her yesterday saying that I had today off of work and asked if she wanted to meet up. She said her son was taking her out to lunch and that I could come over at 3 p.m. She had mentioned she had a son before, but didn't go any further, and I didn't really care to ask. So 3 p.m. comes, and I'm almost at her house when she messages me that she's running late. No problem. I park on the road and sort of just wait in my car, because her car wasn't in the driveway yet. I'm sitting there listening to the radio when an oddly familiar sub pulls into the drive. I sorta looked at it funny, and then I immediately realized where I knew it from. My coworker, male 23, jumps out of the front seat, goes around to her side of the vehicle, gives her a kiss on the cheek and a hug, and then jumps back in the car. My jaw was on the ground. He reversed out of the driveway and stupid me is sitting like a deer in the headlights in plain sight. He turns around and is literally 10 feet in front of my car and staring directly at me. My face goes bright red and I feel like I'm going to vomit. Me and this guy work together every single day and I consider him a friend of mine. I even trained him when he started at my company. And the kicker is I've been telling him in detail about this older lady and he's been giving me immense kudos about it, saying that it's his dream. He pulls up beside me and looks very confused, asks me what I'm doing and how funny it was we ran into each other. I panic completely and stumble over my words and pretend like I'm on the wrong street and trying to find my cousin's house. He looked skeptical but sort of shrugged it off. The whole time his mother is standing there watching us through the curtains. He directs me where to go and I pull off and then circle back once he's gone. Needless to say, I went inside and told her what was up and we both sort of sat there in silence before I left. No boom boom today. I'm now panicking. There's no way he's not going to know, right? And he's gonna realize all these wild escapades with this she-devil night mistress I've been telling him about is actually his mom. Fuck. I already called in sick for work tomorrow because I cannot look him in the eye. Will update if anything happens. Pray for my soul, Reddit. Update. She just texted me and says that we should tell him and come clean because it's the right thing to do. What the fuck? How do I politely explain that I've told her son in detail about our escapades, including the time I dripped candle wax on her butthole? She a freak. Update 2. She's adamant about telling him, even after I informed her about the explicit details I've been sharing since we started doing this. What is wrong this woman? I'm seriously debating quitting my job. I know her son well, and he's gonna want to fucking kill me. She keeps insisting that he's a grown up, and he should realize that his mother is a person too with desires like any other person. That's not the point. Fuck. I'm fucked, bros. Update 3. She said regardless of what I say she's telling him tomorrow, because she can't live with the guilt and deceit. She won't answer my calls at all. Not going over to her house, because she's out somewhere. I'm fucked. Will update again. Let my tombstone read, died doing what he loved best. Update 4. Well gentlemen, the cat is out of the bag. His mother pulled the trigger and came clean about it all. I don't even know what to say. He called me saying it was super weird and he's mint fucked, but he's not mad because he knows we had no idea. He asked if it was her I'd been talking about the whole time, and I said yes. Then he must felt suicidal because he asked even all that crazy stuff. RIP bro. Needless to say I laughed and changed the subject. You've been through enough today my child. He also said he's gonna look for a new job and already gave his 2 weeks notice because it'll be weird working together. Damn. He genuinely just seems bummed as fuck. His mother is an idiot and I feel scummy as hell. He also said he put in a transfer, so we won't be working in the same building until he's gone. Jeez. Going to see his mom later and telling her we can't do this anymore. She caused him to lose a job and a friend and a reason to go to therapy over something we cold likely played off. I think that's the end of it though. Didn't expect this to blow up so big, but thanks for all the awards and comments. At least someone gained something positive from this roller coaster, haha. Can't believe I made my own son quit his job. Damn. Thanks Reddit. The only fair resolution is, if he gets to bang your mom. Not to be that guy but, my mom's dead. Just go into work on Friday. Put your hand on your coworker's shoulder, give him a pat, and say it's gonna be alright son. That's right, he's your boy. You trained him, and taught him everything he knows. And if he complains tell him that he will no longer be the favorite son, and that his baby brother is on the way. Edit. Thanks guys. My first Reddit gold ever, and awards from a dad joke lol. Today I fucked up flashing my wife, teacher, on a Zoom call. My wife is a high school sped teacher, and she has a call with students and a co-teacher that ends at noon. I work out from 11 noon, and normally she is done the call while I go shower. Today I was done a little early, so stripped and went to shower. Being the well-adjusted husband I am, I decided to helicopter dick my wife while walking by. Totally safe. She faces a wall, and I set up the camera. There is a mirror beside her, but it isn't angled at the right angle to be dangerous. All good. Or so I thought. As soon as the helicopter starts hitting liftoff speeds, my wife smiles and chuckles, watching me not the call she is supposed to be on. In my mind, oh yeah, sexy time after the call and shower. My male seduction technique worked. All I hear is the co-teacher, a member of the call, say cked, what are you doing? I bolted into the bathroom, shut the door, and realized my entire life is now over. Not only did I just flash high school kids, I flashed sped high school kids. Not just jail, but under the jail, because of the compounding issues. So the wife plays it straight for the last 2 minutes or so of the call, and then immediately calls the co-teacher, and says what did you see? She doesn't understand the question, frustrating my wife. Finally, after what seems like forever, I hear both of them laughing hysterically, and get the courage to poke my head out of the bathroom. Turns out nothing was seen. The co-worker saw my wife's attention drift, saw the smile, and figured Chedabana was doing something stupid. She knows me well it seems. So, no sexy time, no jail, just a Tifu story to share with y'all. TLDR, flashed wife on a call. Coworker called me out. Thought I flashed. Sped high school students. Just coincidental timing. Today I fucked up by making my dad punch a stripper in GTA and tearfully ask God for forgiveness in front of my entire family. I was encouraged to post this here from a comment I made elsewhere, even though it didn't happen today or even this decade. So mods please remove if it goes against the rules. It's a very funny story though. When I was young, my brothers and I snuck a copy of San Andreas into the house. We spent days holed up in our basement taking turns playing, and down there my parents didn't bother us too much. In order to get tons of money for guns, we had yet to figure out my parents' dial-up password, so cheats weren't a thing for us yet. We would go to the strip club and stand on the stage, absorbing the money dudes threw at the women, and just let the game sit for 10 to 20 minutes. We had to be careful though, because sometimes the strippers would do a move and bump into CJ and the bouncers would shoot the place up. One day while I was playing, my mom yelled down to the basement at us to get ready. We are going to Pizza Hut. In a stroke of genius, I drove to the GTA strip club, got on the stage, and then turned the TV off and we left. It was to be the heist of the century. My dad, however, was at church at this time, practicing for a gospel concert he was singing in. He always filmed the practices, so he could take notes at home upon playback, and this time was no different. While my mom and brothers and I were still at the hut, he arrived at home and plugged his camcorder into the VCR. We had just one VCR, and it was connected to the basement TV. Back at the hut, my mom gets a phone call. She puts her napkin down and slowly looks around the table at us and says back quote to a few times into the phone in this really calculating, specific way that she always did when she knew us kids were in trouble before we did. Naturally, it was at this point that we kids knew we were in trouble. For what, though, we didn't know. After a very quiet minivan ride, we get home, and my mom says, "Boys, why don't we go down to the basement? Your dad wants to show you his gospel practice downstairs." It was then at this point we knew why we were in trouble. So we drag our feet down the stairs, and lo and behold, my dad is sitting on the couch, TV on, a stripper's polygonal titties swung stiffly back and forth on screen to invoke my lovin', with CJ standing mere inches away, collecting money. My dad starts in, "Boys, I don't even know where to begin. This PlayStation was a blessing to you for Christmas and this is how you repay us? By breaking our trust." He is holding the controller up now, gesticulating with it. Here I am, practicing to bring glory to God, but he was cut off as he inadvertently squeezed the controller, causing CJ to punch the stripper. My entire family stands in silence, watching together as the bouncers in the strip club shoot the place up for what seems like an eternity. After the shooting stops and CJ appears in front of the hospital, I look back and see my mom silently weeping into her hand. I look at my dad as a single tear rolls down his cheek and he prays under his breath. After another eternity of silence, without a word, my dad bends down, disconnects the PlayStation, walks back to the family computer, disconnects it, goes to his car and drives away. For the next 4 months he kept the PS2 and PC locked in his office at work. It's one of my favorite memories of growing up. I miss my brothers. TLDR, wasn't allowed to play GTA growing up. Of course got caught playing it. My dad interrupted his own lecture by accidentally punching a stripper and immediately asked for God's forgiveness. Edit. Thanks so much for the response. I'm glad I could spread some laughs with this story. I just want to clarify that my parents weren't crazy at all, so no need to insult them. I love them so much. They just got overzealous and dramatic from time to time. I had a really great childhood with 2 loving and involved parents who tried really hard to live and raise our family by their convictions. It just doesn't always work out for everyone involved, like in this case, but it made for a great story that we can all laugh about now. I'm very much an atheist and my parents know it, but we still get along great. Edit 2. Also my brothers aren't dead. We are all just spread out across the country now. I don't get to see them very much anymore. That's all. Edit 3. Alright, now I'm not being so nice. I'm an atheist, but all you other atheist weirdos calling my parents crazy are weird. I hesitate to inform people I'm atheist because of houseplants like you. So self-informed on my life. Because you're drunk on your own overinflated homuncular ideas about spirituality in people's personal lives. It's no wonder r/atheism isn't a default sub anymore. Look how you're acting. Trying to tell me, bro, you need to get out of there. The story is over a decade old. Apparently none of you can read. I shouldn't be surprised at what I'm reading. However, if you do still feel inclined to let the pee that rolls around your empty head, whose sound you mistake for a competent thought, inform you of some truly transcendent comment in which you consider calling my parents whack jobs and nuts, it says way more about you and your small-mindedness in acting like you know better just because you have an internet connection and a lifetime full of trauma on your own. Stop being weird nerds in the comments. Ahaha. My buddy's little brother got GTA 5. He was in the middle of a rampage when the front door opened. His mom came in, and you'd suicided himself with a grenade, and I start to give him shit for being a dumbass when my buddy nudges me and whispers, "Act cool, man. WTF." So his mom comes in and sits down, and we chat for like a half an hour. The entire time the little dude was just walking around with no weapons and driving really slow. I was speechless. Their mother didn't allow violent video games in the house, and for over a year this went on until someone left the window open and he got busted. I used to do the same thing playing it on my 360 when it first came out. I convinced my mom to let me get it, and I remember telling her that it was a super realistic driving game and you even had to put on your seatbelt or motorcycle helmet before driving. The guy behind the counter at GameStop even backed me up on it, lol.